So my name's Carolyn Oliver. I was born and raised in England, and I've been a settler on this territory now for about 20 years. And I have the great privilege of being VACFSS's Policy Research and Development Coordinator. So I supervise the Quality Assurance Advisor, and the two of us together are the little Policy Research and Development unit here at VACFSS. So over the last few years, we've been developing policy which reflects and strengthens and supports VACFSS's restorative practice. So VACFSS has a very particular way of working with Indigenous children and families. It's been developed since its very inception, generations of practitioners, and it's a way of working that's sort of deeply rooted in culture and relationship. And what our role has been is to really just articulate that and write that down. And so we've developed policies that are still within the legislation, still within ministry policy, but really look to push the envelope on what creative, good practice with Indigenous children and families looks like. So a really important part of our policy development practice is sitting down with the people who are doing the work, sitting down with our elders, sitting down with our youth, and hearing about what practice is like on the ground. And we sort of build policy from the ground up in that way, so it really reflects what good restorative practice is with Indigenous children and families. So VACFSS has a really active research agenda. It's a strategic priority of the board to research and share our knowledge about Indigenous child welfare. So what that looks like in practice is this spring we had a conference. We hosted a conference about Indigenous child welfare, restorative child welfare, that was attended by people from across the country, and that was a really exciting opportunity to talk about the good work that's already happening around restorative practice and where we can go together next. One example of research that we've just finished actually is our inclusive foster care project. So it's a 3-year project working with our foster caregivers to figure out what they needed to work better with the child's family members and community members, and what they needed to work better to support the child's culture. So that research was done through interviews, through the various forms of data collection that involve people across the agency. And we've just spent the last year putting into place really concrete, practical action that's informed by the findings that will go to strengthen inclusive foster care. That's training, new policy, new tools, and new ways to support the work. And that's the kind of research that we try to do here, really based in practice, and using the findings to inform our practice. So our third area of focus is development. So that means training. We're very involved in training across the agency, particularly training out the policies and the approaches that are particular to VACFSS. We also run the quality assurance program. So working with families who want to make a complaint about VACFSS practice, our focus is really on developing relationship and developing understanding with them to come to a good resolution, so the worker and the person who's complaining can move forward together.